Right, it's a pleasure that the Foreign Minister, Mr. Shah Qureshi, has joined us. It's a pleasure to have you on air, sir. Thank you so much for your precious time.
You're welcome.
Assalamu alaikum, sir. I'm Sadia Sattar from Perspective, and talking about Foreign Office spokesperson, Pakistan's highest level participation in 75th United Nations General Assembly session, where Prime Minister reaffirmed Pakistan's commitment to multilateralism and exposed brutal violations of human rights and international law in illegally Indian-occupied Jammu and Kashmir. Your comments, sir, on Prime Minister's address there and exposing Indian nefarious agendas?
Well, Prime Minister was very clear, very categorical in his statement. He highlighted the atrocities, the human rights violations taking place in the Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir. He pointed out that independent observers are being denied access. Journalists are not allowed to freely move around and contact people. They are trying to maintain the communication blackout so that the real face and the true picture does not come out, and the world does not exactly know what's going on the Indian side of Jammu and Kashmir. Prime Minister highlighted these things last year,
yes,
and this year in his virtual statement he once again highlighted the atrocities and the change in domicile rules to bring about a democratic restructuring to manipulate things over there. He very articulately pleaded for the Kashmiris.
Absolutely, sir. And Prime Minister also called for the realization of the Kashmir's right to self-determination, the commendable job being done by present government to highlight the issue on multiple fora, including media fraternity and even the social media and otherwise, obviously, in United Nations General Assembly session. But, sir, we do see demography change there. We do see Hindutva extremism there. What is Pakistan's policy, particularly now when China is also a key player after Galwan's defeat happened for Indian armed forces there?
Well, China is equally concerned vis-a-vis the illegal constructions taking place, the intrusion from the Indian side. They have entered and they're trying to occupy a disputed territory. China has done its best to resolve the issue through the existing mechanisms and dialogue, but the Indians, unfortunately, are being belligerent. They are not being reasonable resolving the issue. They want to attract international attention and give this feeling to the world that they are standing up to a big regional power, and through that they want to draw attention and extract aid and arms and equipment from people who are sort of wary of Chinese economic growth.
Well, thank you, sir. And also one last question about Prime Minister Imran Khan, who pertinently pointed out many facts related to Islamophobia in the present world and also the threats it poses to the peace and stability not only of this particular region but the entire world. Please comment on that.
Yes, he has expressed his concern on this rising trend of Islamophobia, hate speech, and the way Muslims are being targeted, particularly in India. Special laws have been enacted in which they have been discriminated against. The Citizen Amendment Act is a case in point. He's also highlighted how Muslims feel anger because of the caricatures that we have seen and insults as to attacks on Muslim shrines. people are very disturbed, not just in Pakistan, but in the entire Ummah, the way the Babri mosque was demolished and the way all the accused have been let off.
Acquitted.
Not one conviction has taken place. All have been acquitted.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, that's actually very brutal, but commendable efforts from your side and the present government. Thank you so much, sir, for your precious time. It was a pleasure having you. That was Foreign Minister Mr. Shah Mahmood Qureshi, who was on spot, to the point, talking about different issues, particularly discussing about Prime Minister's address in 75th United Nations General Assembly session, talking about Islamophobia, how he highlighted, and how we have seen, if we talk about the other day, we were talking about the Azerbaijan issue, and again, it was an issue which is related to that, and then Kashmir, and then Palestine. There are multiple fronts where we've seen Rohingya Muslims as well.